I man, it's your motherfucking boy KSHOTEM and all that. Just thought I'd come through to make this video for y'all for today, man. This is the last mission right here. Army of Darkness, Zombie Army, a trilogy, you feel me? Played this shit all by myself, solo, you know what I mean? So yeah, man, I had seen a couple videos and motherfuckers was like playing this shit with a squad, you know what I mean? And I was just thinking to myself, like, damn, like, that shit should be easy as hell to do, you know what I mean? Like, but I was out here kicking the shit out these boys, as y'all see, man. And yeah, man, like, this is a tricky mission, but it's really not hard to do, to be honest with you. Like, all you gotta do is air out all the zombies before you go on to the next stage, or else they're just gonna keep on piling up. So, you know, I was kicking the shit out these boys, you know what I mean? So you could do it however you want, but I will for sure save any dynamite, any grenades, and all that shit, you feel me, for later on, because, you know, it's gonna get pretty hectic, you feel me? What I'm doing right here, I'm just clearing out the scene, and then you have 3 doors you gotta get to, and each door has like a baby in it, and you gotta basically throw it at Hitler type shit, like where he's at. And but each time, you know, the enemy's gonna keep coming, so you gotta make sure you kill all the enemies before you go on to the next little stages, you know, because they gonna add up, trust me. And kicking down these doors, it ain't much, you feel me? You just gotta watch out behind you, you know what I mean? Make sure, you feel me, the enemies ain't running up on you, you feel me? Kick the shit out them boys. I did a lot of this shit just kicking these boys, and I shot my gun to, like, you know, blow up the dynamite and shit like that. But for the most part, you know what I mean, I was kicking the shit out these boys. There is gonna be a big boy that comes in a little bit, and you for sure gonna want to take him out. But first, we right here on the staircase, you feel me? And like I said, even though I opened that door, I'm still taking out as many zombies as I could. Because if you see, like, he's not spawning more and more and more yet. They only spawn more when you go to the next part, right? So right here, obviously, it's common sense, you feel me? You got to knock off those skulls, you know? And he gonna keep spawning them now, you feel me? So you're gonna have to, you know, do this shit pretty quick before those fucking zombies come up, you know what I mean? Because once they come up, you already know what you got to do. So it's really like a time measurement thing right here, you know what I mean? Like, you just got to do it in a certain amount of time frame. There is no clock, but by everything, you know, the zombies and all that shit, you got to for sure be on your toes, you know what I mean? So here they come right here. And, you know, right here is where I open the door, right? You got to grab that baby in there. But, of course, first, before you do that, you're going to want to clear out as much as you can in this area, you know what I mean? So that's what you see me doing right here. And this was the first time playing this shit, so like I didn't really know like exactly what I had to do. So you know, I noticed, okay, there's a baby in here, there's something in here I gotta take over there, or not a baby, but like a dead body or whatever. I thought it was a baby, but I think it's just a dead body. But yeah, man, so you see what I'm doing right here, just clearing them out, you feel me? You're gonna have to do all that shit, trust me. If you try to just do it, it ain't gonna happen. And this part, you don't want to go down here, you feel me? You don't want to go down here, because you're gonna end up getting killed by these fools, because they're gonna keep coming. So what you want to do is, you want to go up here, and then there's a little part right here you could drop down, right? It actually don't even hurt you. It just like knocks you out for a second, you know what I mean? So then you grab the skeleton, you know, the dead body, and then you feel me, that's where you just throw it in here, right here, you feel me? You throw it right here. But as you see, like, a lot of enemies gonna be creeping at you, you know what I mean? So, and when you have this, like, you could sit the shit down, but it's most ideal you just get it to that spot, throw it in there, and then kill as many enemies as you can. And as you can see, like, they still hitting a motherfucker, you know what I'm talking about? Like, it's a tricky mission to play by yourself, because if you had a team, they be killing all this shit while you do that, you know what I'm talking about? Like, stop playing with me. So yeah, man, like, this is how you play this mission solo, though. And I do end up dying in a little bit here, because like I said, it was my first time playing it. Motherfucker ended up getting killed, you know, because I opened the door, didn't realize that there was gonna be a big boy. So yeah, man. So right here, I'm just clearing them out, you feel me? And like, defeating Hitler, it really ain't no big deal, you know what I mean? It's just you gotta kill all these motherfuckers, you know what I mean? And you know, it could get tricky because if they pile up, then you kind of could get screwed, you know what I mean? Especially if you have like bigger enemies that take more damage and shit, you gonna be right there, you feel me, struggling, you hear me? But yeah, this is actually the last mission. I could upload other missions and all that shit, you know what I mean? But I just felt like this was a good one to upload. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be playing through the game again and again and again and all that, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna still be dropping more content, and I'm actually gonna be playing it through the next time on Sniper Elite. So that's gonna be pretty tough, you feel me? Less ammo, less health. The enemies do more damage and all that, you know what I mean? So it's gonna be a little challenge, but you already know, man, we do this shit. So yeah, right here, I was just kind of observing the area, trying to see what was going on, because you know what I mean, like I was just like confused and shit. I was like, okay, where do I go type shit. So that's where I was just running around, you know what I mean, trying to see what was going on. But then I realized, like, he's up there, you feel me? He's up there in the middle type shit. I thought maybe I had to run up there somehow, you know what I mean? But nah, I get back right here and I off that boy, you know what I mean? And I thought that was gonna be it, you know what I mean? I was like, alright, cool. You know, I'm off this fool. But right here, I was actually just like observing the area, making sure that I got everything, you know, covering bases and all that shit. But then I noticed, like, oh, boy's up here, huh? So yeah, you just hit him right there in the dome skirts, you feel me? Dome ski, you feel me? Dome ski shot. And then he gonna do his wiggle wobble. But he gonna spawn some more enemies, you know what I mean? So you gotta go over here, break down this door. Yeah, that fool surprised the shit. I mean, I was like, oh shit. So yeah, like he gonna spawn some hard enemies right here. These are the bigger boys he ends up spawning, you know what I mean? And yeah, man, they out here, you feel me? As you see, these big boys, you gotta hit them with a big boy shotgun. I think they call it the preacher, or you hit them with the dynamite. So right here, I was just kind of, you know what I mean, running around trying to see what's going on, you know, trying to see what I gotta do. Okay, I realized, okay, I gotta fucking knock off this door right here, you feel me? So I was just, you know, planning some you know, explosives type shit. I was, you know, I didn't know what was behind this door this first time around, by the way. But there's a big boy, right? And with all these boys coming, it's a no-go. Oh, actually, never mind. I forgot. There's not a big boy in there this time. It's in the next one. So yeah, since I noticed, like, okay, I gotta take another skeleton and drop it, I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna drop down right here and just start killing as many as I could, because obviously, you know, before you take that skeleton, you for sure are gonna want to kill as many enemies as you can, you know, because each door you break, more enemies are gonna come. So if you don't kill them, they gonna just stack up and then you screwed, right? So this is me just basically trying to lure them to me, you know what I mean, get them away from the area that I need to go to, right? So that's where I'm like, fuck it, let me run on this other side of the map to bring them over here. Right here I kind of fucked up. I don't know why I even dropped that dynamite right there. I thought it was something else, but it was a trip mine. I'm surprised I didn't get my ass blown up right there. But yeah, right here I was like, fuck it, you feel me? I'm gonna take out all these boys, or as many as I could. I was like looking in the area to see what it was. I was like, oh hell no, this is a trap right here, you feel me? But then I realized that there was that rocket. So the rocket comes in handy, obviously, as you know, you feel me? So, you know, you want to start airing them out with either dynamite, rocket, whatever, because like I said, them big boys, you ain't just gonna be able to shoot them boys, you know what I mean? You gotta hit them with the dynamite. Even grenades don't really do shit. You have to hit them with some big shit, you feel me? Like the preacher shotgun or that. So once I cleared out some of them, I knew, like, alright, you feel me? Like, they ain't just over here running after me. They ain't stacking up. So it was obvious, like, okay, let me take this boy, you feel me? So took this fool, you know what I'm talking about? I was like, alright, boy, like, we going, you know what I'm talking about? So we throw him over here like we should. Bam. And then I believe there's one more stage after this. And that's where I believe, I want to say, that big boy comes, you know what I mean? And I didn't even know he was going to pop out, you feel me? So it was a big surprise, that's for sure. You know, and those big boys, you got to shoot like they knees type shit, you know what I'm talking about? You got to shoot where the shield isn't there, obviously. But if you have that big boy shotgun, then it don't matter. You feel me? You just off him, no issue. One shot anywhere. You feel me? It don't even matter. Yeah, that fool, he was kind of hard to hit. I couldn't really see him that good, and you know, I was trying to make sure no zombies were rolling up. So right here, I believe I want to say this is like the last stage right here. You know what I mean? We run up here real quick, do the thug diz, you know, break down the door. That fool almost got me, I ain't gonna lie, but shit, he didn't even actually hurt me. But he for sure surprised the shit at me, though. You gotta watch out for them dudes, like, and those dudes that blow up, if they come at you, you want to make sure there's other enemies right there. So when you hit them and they drop, like, they blow up and kill a lot of other shit around them, you know what I mean? So you got to use those enemies to your advantage whenever you see them running up, for sure, especially in a small area like this. And this is where I actually end up getting killed because as y'all see, it's a really small area. So before you knock down this door right here, you for sure want to take out all the enemies, like I keep saying, you know what I mean? Because I fucked up by doing this shit right here, you know? I thought there was just going to be the same shit. Hell no, there was a big boy, and I was like, oh shit. And with all these fools coming in, you know, there's really no way. So they ended up getting me right there, you feel me? But when you come back, luckily you come back wherever your last checkpoint is. I thought I was going to have to do that shit all over. So it felt good to know, like, oh shit, like I pick up where I left off type shit. So yeah, after this, I mean, to me, it was pretty much just a breeze after this, just because, you know what I mean, I already knew, like, alright, I got it on lock, you feel me? So yeah, man, we busting down doors and all that, you know what I mean, back though, shawty. You know, we bust down that door and shit like that, and I was just gonna end up killing as many of these enemies as I could, but in a second here, you're gonna see how I took out an enemy, and it actually busted open that door. You know what I mean? And I didn't want that shit to happen, so you're gonna see what I did in a minute. You know what I mean? I wiggled through that motherfucker, but yeah, right here, I just knew, like, damn, like, hella enemies coming, you know? But I was, like I said, you gotta use them big boys that explode to your advantage, so I was just waiting for that, because I knew them fools was gonna come type shit, right? So I'll be setting up the trip mines and all that, you know what I mean? And I'm basically just waiting for them bigger boys to come that explode, you feel me, before I knock down this door. So you feel me, I'm over here on wiggle wobble. You know, you gotta make sure you have, you know, dynamite and all that, because if you don't, it makes it really hard to kill these mugs, you know what I mean? Because there's a lot of fools that come right here. And as you see, like, I'm not even really trying to shoot them big boys, because I already know ain't nothing gonna happen. But right here, I fucked up, you see? I knocked open that door, and I was like, oh shit. So this is where, I mean, I kind of glad I did that shit, but I had to really, like, move, you feel me? I was like, oh hell no, like, and that was probably the smartest thing to do, you feel me? Not try to go down the stairs, because they probably was gonna be right there, maybe, who knows. So I was like, fuck this shit. I'm going on the other side of the map, because I needed the enemies to come on this side, but that big boy, he moves slow, you know what I mean? So yeah, man, that big boy, you know, he moves slow and shit like that, you know, so I knew I had time to bring him over here on this side and knock his head off a couple of times. And yeah, my bad, my video has stopped because I guess I was full on storage or some shit like that, and the video literally, like, just froze and shit like that. But I looked it up right now, and I had to free up some storage, you feel me? I have too much files all up on the PS5, too many games and, you know, videos installed, so that shit actually stopped on me, you know what I mean? So my bad, yo, you feel me? We back in at it. But yeah, man, right here, I was just knocking old boy's face back, because, you know what I mean, you gotta make sure, you feel me, you take out as many zombies. And if you look, man, them boys was rolling up, you know what I'm talking about? Like, they was coming through like hot pancakes, you know what I mean? So the big boy, you definitely gotta focus on taking them out right here before you kill anything else, you know what I mean? That's why you gotta have a distance, and you gotta, like, make sure that big boy comes to you without all these other motherfuckers, you know what I mean? So that's where you see me, like, moving around, trying to, you know what I mean, get people over here and over there, killing some people here or there, you feel me? And as y'all know, you know, you want to take out them boys that explode as soon as you could, you know. And this is probably the best area that you could go to as well, you know what I mean? Because it's open area. You could go from this side to that side. He can't really hit you that good. And obviously, you need to get them headshots, you know what I mean? If you ain't getting them headshots, trust me, he'll go kill your ass. So yeah, man, you just gotta wiggle through this shit, you feel me, as you see me doing. And you feel me, gotta make sure that fool don't kill your ass, right? And at this point, you can't even make sure those big boys are exploding by anybody. You just gotta kill them boys, you know what I mean? So as you see right here, I'm not even focused on nothing else other than taking out the big boy, you know what I mean? Because without taking him out, trust, you done. It's a dub, you know what I mean? So yeah, right here you see me just wiggling through, you feel me? Knocking faces off, you feel me? I had that landmine right there for a minute too. So I chose that opportunity, you know, hit him right there. Luckily that fool blew up. It hit him pretty good right there, you know what I mean? So right there, after the big boy hit him, I hit him right in the headshot, spinal shot, you feel me? He was done after that, you know what I mean? Sent that boy home, you feel me? Sent that boy home packing his bags, you hear me? So after I did that, I already knew, like, this shit's piece of cake after this shit, you know what I mean? So yeah, man, if you was having an issue with this mission, man, I hope this video really helps you out, you know what I mean? This game is older, but you know, people are always playing it, you know, there's probably new people playing it like myself. So hey, man, if you ever get stuck on this mission, man, you already know, you just tap into this video, you're gonna find out how to do it, or at least give you an idea on how to do it, because some of these missions you definitely have to have an idea on how to do it, you know what I mean? Like, because if not, you're gonna be acting at the moment, and you know, it may be a little harder to do. And as y'all say, I still took the safe route right here, but shit, that fool almost killed my ass, you know what I mean? So it wasn't too safe to do that at that point, you know what I mean? But I didn't know how many dudes was coming right there, so that I actually like got lucky right there. So right here, this is it, man, you know what I'm talking about? Your boy Hitler gets defeated after this, you feel me? So yeah, man, that's your boy KSHOTEM, man, you know, defeating Hitler and all that, man. The last mission, you feel me? I hope y'all enjoyed that shit. You already know, man. So yeah, man, this is the last shit. Hey, man, hope y'all had a good time on this motherfucker. You already know, man. It's your boy KSHOTEM.